Last year we checked out the new Porsche Panamera sedan. Now the original had taken some flack for poor or lack of design, and the pressure was on. But there was no doubt this was a step in the right direction. Well, the Panamera family is growing with a new member. It's the Panamera 5-door hatch. No, make that a wagon. No, wrong again. This is the Porsche Panamera Sport Turismo. According to Porsche, a brand new segment. Now, from a design point, it still has what I consider the necessary 911 DNA in the front, but from the B-pillar back, it's all new. And that's probably a good thing, because as I said, this vehicle has taken its lumps over the years as to exactly what it is. Is it just an overblown 911? So Porsche really wants to give this Panamera its own distinct styling. And heck, isn't traveling in style what this vehicle and this segment is all about? Well, this week we're on beautiful Vancouver Island. Hardly a mecca for performance cars. However, Porsche has invited automotive journalists from around the world for what is the very first global launch of a Porsche vehicle in Canada. So my first question is, what took them so long?
I think it's really important to see that Porsche does see Canada as being a market that's an expansion, and we're really glad to see that tracks such as this one are really on the radar of Porsche in Germany, and that it's worthy enough for us to be here. So I think it's fantastic for all of us.
So I think it was a big step that we have taken in the design. So the new Panamera, on the very first glance, it is recognizable as Porsche from each and every angle, and on the other hand, it's also directly recognizable as a new Panamera because we integrated the Porsche design DNA, and this is, I think, very important. You have to stay true to the design DNA of Porsche. And I think with the Sport Turismo, even with the Sport Turismo offering more space, this is still true. Also in the back of the car, you see the strong shoulder. So for me personally, immediately you can recognize it as a Porsche.
The World Endurance Championship is where car companies like Toyota, Audi, and Porsche showcase and test hybrid engines, and hopefully that technology will soon trickle down to street cars. Well, one of the flavors of the new Turismo is the Panamera 4 e-hybrid Sport Turismo. Now that's a mouthful. Well, it has a large mouthful of performance as well. The 2.9-liter V6 bi-turbo puts out a combined 462 horses and 516 pound-feet of torque. Now, Porsche says the electric motor will take you about 50 kilometers. But you know, this hybrid isn't just about fuel economy. It is about performance. In fact, this week, the only vehicle allowed on the racetrack was the hybrid.
The Panamera Turbo SE hybrid is the fastest hybrid sedan on Earth. And when I talk about fastest, it both refers to acceleration and top speed.
A new feature on the Panamera is the adaptive roof spoiler. Now, when the sunroof is closed, it ensures a downward thrust on the vehicle. When the roof is open, it is extended even further to compensate for the lift generated by the turbulence. What does this mean? Well, it minimizes wind noise, it reduces drag, and it improves fuel efficiency. And in Sport and Sports Plus, it moves into the performance position at speeds of 90 kilometers and over. Now, apologies to Type R and STI fans, but my kind of spoiler is the one you don't see unless you need it.
Second generation Panamera really has really binded both elements, make the car really look essentially like a 4-door 911. So really the style is unmistakable, it's beautiful, and it's truly Porsche, and yet you still have plenty of space inside, and it's a proper Gran Turismo sedan. We think, again, there's no other competitor in the segment, so we think it's really a unique offering, and therefore the potential is there. Do we think it's going to be an absolute volume model? Probably not. Again, 10% is what we're forecasting. So, but still, we think that it's something that's quite relevant to the Panamera brand.
I began by describing the new Panamera Sport Turismo as a 5-door hatch or a wagon. Well, it is a 5-door hatch, and it certainly isn't an SUV. But the bottom line, if you've got the coin, this vehicle can be anything you want it to be. It's got the performance, it's a Porsche, and it comes in many different flavors. But you know where I think this car really shines? It is in the edgy design. The Panamera now has its own distinct identity. And of course, when you're traveling in one of these, you're traveling in style. I think you should take it a step further. Example, you live here on Vancouver Island, you're in Victoria Bay, and you got to get to Vancouver for a meeting. You could take a ferry, but then your Panamera would be surrounded by RVs and trucks. What you do is, you take one of these babies, and that's exactly what we're going to do.